right. Let's see. I believe we are recording now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quick so I can make sure that we are recording. Okay, cool. So, hey everyone, welcome to our Wednesday call. I hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving and just getting life back together. I'm sure a lot of you are still trying to, it's Wednesday, but it still feels like Monday, if you know what I mean. So just trying to get your life still back in order. But obviously we're entering into a really crazy season in our lives and in our businesses. And so today I wanted to talk about creating systems in your business. And so I know some of us are at places in our businesses where, you know, we maybe, so I'm just trying to make sure everyone's muted here. We're all at places in our businesses where maybe we're kind of on the cuff of, you know, either we just started as a coach or we've been in it for a little bit. We're an Emerald coach, not really to a place where we can necessarily hire an assistant. You know, maybe some of you are. But today I want to teach you guys how putting systems in your business can really be a virtual assistant for you in so many ways. And this is something that I have really done in my business, and sometimes I forget to share it with other people because I just assume that people know these things, but the reality is that they don't. And so I want to share with you guys today just some of the things that different tools that you can use. And let me preface it with this as well. Like, I don't, you know, use every single one of these tools in my business right now, but I'll kind of talk about the ones I use and the ones that, you know, I haven't started using, but I plan to. But I think that this will just really help you guys as we do enter into the holidays. I really encourage you guys to make these systems, to have these systems in your business. The thing is that we want to work smarter, not harder. Does that make sense? Like, obviously we want to work to our best of our ability, but at the same time, like, if we can create systems in our business, it's going to allow us time to spend more time with our families. And I think a lot of coaches that I've been talking to recently feel super overwhelmed. They feel like there's so much to do in this business and there's so much that they need to, you know, take care of and people they need to follow up with. And there's a lot. And so obviously, let me just say this. I didn't dive into this today, but the number one tool that you should be using is some sort of, whether it's the Power Hour sheet, Google sheet that I shared with you guys. I recently shared it in upLIFT Tribe. So if you don't know about that, go to the search bar in upLIFT Tribe and type in Power Hour. There is a Google form that I created specifically for you guys. And the questions in it are really based from the She Works His Way business tracker, some of the things that I've been learning in that. But you need something. So whether it's a notebook, whether it's investing in the She Works His Way business tracker, which went live yesterday if you are a She Works His Way member. If you're not, it goes live today. It's a tool that I really, really encourage everyone to be investing in. And I'll say this, it is going to be the new diamond prize especially for my personally sponsored coaches, just because it really is a tool that is going to be a game changer in your business. It's going to really help you, you know, work to the best of your ability, but not sacrificing your family. And we all know that that's important, and that's all of our heartbeats, right? Like, I don't want you guys working 10 hours a day. I don't even want you having to work, you know, 4 hours a day on this business. Like, I want for you to have systems in place that are going to help you work smarter, not harder. And what I've learned is that having these systems are going to be help you with manage your time better. And so first off, the number one tool, and it's not something new, so I didn't add it in here today, but you need to have a tracking process in your business. Like, whether it's, you know, for me with the She Works This Way tracker, you know, every day I go on, the first thing I do is I pray over my business. I list out 5 things that I'm grateful for in my business. That is the one thing that you should be doing in your business every single day. If you enter into your business, posting on social media or starting to email clients, and you haven't taken that time to sit down and pray over your business and give it to the Lord, then you've already messed up. So make sure that every single day is starting with that, because you're going to have frustrations in the business. But if we start with a grateful heart, then it's going to make us much more joyful in the work that we're doing. And so starting with that. Secondly, making sure that you're listening to your clients, that you're learning from your clients every single day. Yes, you should be learning through personal development, but how are you talking to the people that you're working with and becoming better? I've had to listen to some people tell me some tough stuff. I've had to listen to some coaches tell me some tough stuff. Hey, Caroline, I don't think this is working. Or, hey, Caroline, I got nothing out of that. And sometimes that's it feels like I just put a knife through my chest, because it's like, man, I put so much work into that. And I'm so passionate about it. And I don't want people to feel that way. I want them to feel served and loved. But the reality is that we constantly have to be becoming better, because we're all fallen and we all are going to mess up, and we're not going to do everything perfectly. And you should be learning what are those holes in your business that you can create better things for, create better systems for. So learning from your clients every single day. Every single day, you should be investing into people that aren't already working with you. People who they've never said yes. They've maybe even never left their email, but maybe they message you on Instagram and they ask you what kind of meal tracker you use. And you say, oh, let me send you mine. And then you follow up with them in a few weeks and you'll have a long conversation. Like, investing in 2 people a day. Michelle, we were recently talking about that, and one of the examples she used is that she got invited to speak on this call about her book, Having It at Home. And she said, it was kind of a long call, and it was kind of, took up, an hour per day. But the reality is those women might later invest in She Works This Way and become a member. And so, just thinking about those things that you're doing for people, not always having to have strings attached, right? And so obviously we can do that through freemiums and different things. And sometimes you're reaching masses through those things, but being really, really intentional about 2 people every day. And then, the other thing that you should be doing every single day is wowing your team in some way. If you are a coach with coaches, you should be investing in those people. Be the coach that you want to be coached by. Like, if there's things that you don't like that I do, or things that you think I should do, you should be doing those for your team. And all of these things that I've done maybe for you or Patrice or whoever your upline is, you should be going and you should be doing with your team, like investing in them, because they signed up with you for a reason. And so every day, somehow wowing your team, whether it's it could just be simple. It could be making a checklist. It could just be texting someone and letting them know you're praying for them. Like, it can be super simple, but every day doing something that's going to really wow them. And then obviously, no matter what, like every day doing the things in your business, checking with your challengers, posting on social media, doing those things that are going to move your business forward and continue to grow your warm market. So I just want to say that what we're going to dive into today is things that are more systems that you can be doing that are going to really help you in your business, help you manage your time better so that you can serve people better, right? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so tool number 1 that we are going to talk about today is Gmail canned responses. So if you find yourself typing up the same emails all the time, this is going to be your new business bestie. And so canned responses for me have been a game changer. I've been using them actually Bree introduced me to them, I would say probably 5 or 6 months now, and they are amazing. So I make them for just about everything in my business. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to make a list of what are the emails that you're sending a lot of, okay? So some examples for me is signing up to become a coach, a welcome email to a new challenger, a thank you, a follow-up email, even emails about challenge groups. So for Black Friday, for instance, I had an email specifically for, Thrive Bootcamp / Black Friday email, because I had a lot of people emailing me and leaving their emails. And so I could just go in, canned response it, change the name, boom. And so canned responses are awesome. The things that I'm going to talk about today, write these down, go Google them later, watch a YouTube video about how to use it. That is my biggest, people send me questions like, how do I use canned responses? Google it. Like, YouTube has so many amazing videos on how to use these things. I put screenshots in here so you can kind of get an idea. But canned responses is an extension of Gmail. So all you have to do is go to the canned responses, as you guys can see right here, and then insert it. Super simple. So tool number 2 is Boomerang. So Boomerang is awesome for auto sending emails to people at the perfect time. And so you can use Boomerang for birthdays. You can use it for follow-ups. You can actually, so say that someone emails you and says they're interested in a challenge group. So you send them an email, right, like with your canned responses, and then you go ahead and right then and there, set up a follow-up email. If in between when you know that follow-up email is going to go out and, then they email you back. So let's say they email you back. You can go in and cancel this. It doesn't have to go out. But that way you've already put it in place. The follow-up email is going to go out to them, and it's really simple. Like I said, this is great for sending birthdays. Like, you could go in and just put in all your birthdays for people, people who on here who may do have an assistant. You can have your assistant put this in for you, but just scheduling those out. You can also schedule reminders in here, like for people. So, hey, tomorrow's the last day to sign up for the end of year resolution boot camp. Here's the info again. I would love to have you. Schedule these so that they go out to everyone. One thing that I will say really quick too that Boomerang is great for is say that you're working late at night. So say that you're a late night emailer. It's 9 o'clock and you're emailing clients back. Don't send them an email at 9 o'clock. Okay? Like, we are on social media. We're talking to our challengers. We're telling them that we have balance in our lives. We're telling them that our families are important. And if we're sending them emails after, 7 or 8 o'clock at night, then that's taking away from them and them spending time with their families, especially to other coaches. Like if you're emailing someone else who's a coach or you're emailing with your assistant, like don't send them to-do list items at those times because those create anxiety for people. I know when my boss from Red Bull emails me at night, I'm like, or after 5, it creates anxiety for me because I'm not going to do the action item she has me doing right then and there. It's not going to be till tomorrow, but then I'm thinking about it, right? And so even with our challengers, like I'm not saying that it's a bad thing if it's on your mind and you like to work late at night. That is totally fine. Obviously, we're all kind of hustling in this business right now, right? Like I'm doing this on the side, so I have to work sometimes at night. But people don't know your situation, right? Like they don't know everything about your lives. And so not that we want to create this fake looking, oh, we get done with work at 5 o'clock, but I think it just sets a precedence with your challengers that, hey, like if they text you after that time, like they might expect a response if you've put into place that you're going to be emailing them at that time. And so these are really great because if you write an email to a challenger, it can go out the next morning. It can go out at 8 a.m. or whatever. So Boomerang is really great for those things as well. And it's not always have to be just for these reminders and follow-ups. It's also great for scheduling emails to go out at different times. So tool number 3 is your blog. So our clients, our challengers have lots of questions. Like we all know that, right? Like they want to know a lot. And so rather than repeating ourselves over and over and over again, it can make it so much quicker if you will write a blog post about questions that they have. And I am a firm believer that every coach, if you're going to be sending people to a page like this, you should have your own blog. You can set up a blog for free these days. Like Weebly has free blogs that you can set up. They are the easiest thing ever. My website is 100% through Weebly. I do have a paid one because I have the login and all these sorts of different things on my website. But, I see it as an investment in my business. And I have a page on there that is, what is my Shakeology? And so every time I email a challenger about being in a challenge group, I put in there the link. Like, hey, if you want to know more about what Shakeology is, here's the link. I don't want to be sending them to, Amy Silverman or Melanie Mitro's pages. Like, I want them to see my page, right? Now, it's a little different if you're sending them, if you're a coach and you have, coaches on your team and you're sending them to my page to do the videos or whatever. That's a little bit different. But for this specifically, if it is a challenger, you want them to work with you. Like, they don't need to see my stuff. They might go here and then start exploring on my page, or they might go to Amy Silverman's page and start exploring on her page. Like, you should have these things in your business, and because you want to have a professional look to your business, right? You don't want them to know that you're this mom who's behind this computer grinding all the time. I mean, you do, but you know what I'm saying. You still want to have a presentable look, right, to your business. And so it could be, some examples are, the difference between Shakeology and protein shakes. Like, what are the differences? What is a challenge pack? What is Beachbody On Demand? Like, these are blog posts that you can write. I do them for all my challenge groups. So that way, if someone's interested, they can go to my link tree, click, takes them right to that page, and they can read about it. And then they end up exploring. It's amazing. Like, we can see people's clicks, and it's really cool to see like where they're going on my website. So I want you guys to all make a list of repetitive questions that you receive, and create blog posts on them to answer those questions. So go ahead and take a second now and just write down, what are some of those questions that you get a lot. Like I said, some of my examples were the difference between Shakeology and protein shakes. What is a challenge pack? What is Beachbody On Demand? So just think for a second about what those questions that you get a lot are. All right. Hopefully you wrote a few things down. All right, so tool number 4 is a freemium. So we talked about this 2 weeks ago. We talked about a freemium. I loved seeing everyone's responses to what they're working on. It's been really fun. I know Elizabeth sent me hers, and I looked over it, and it looked awesome. And Ashton sent me some things that she's planning out. So it's really cool to see you guys taking this and running this and really putting this into place. At the end of this call, we'll just take like 10 minutes and talk about what your freemiums are, how they're coming. But these are so great because these allow you to influence and impact people while you're sleeping. So you don't have to be sending this to a million different people. This is just something that is going to impact them. They just sign up and they get it in their inbox, and it's super easy and super simple. So your goal should be to create a new freemium once every few months. So make this something that you're coming out with something new, and you're offering people something new, and it's impacting them, and it's pouring into them. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be super simple, but it needs to be something that makes sense for your brand. If you listened to the National Wake Up Call on Monday, it was so good. Like, I actually was planning to do a follow-up video in upLIFT Tribe on it because there were so many meaty takeaways. But one of the things that she talked about is kind of that aha moment that people have in their businesses. And the thing that people are Beachbody coaches are passionate about is, yes, we're passionate about the programs, right? But what we're really passionate about is the people we are specifically helping, the kind of that big idea that we have in our business, right? And so your freemium should make sense for that, right? Like, there's a girl who specifically loves working with women who are really fresh postpartum, trying to breastfeed, helping them get their supply up, also working out and getting the baby weight off. That is her niche. And so while all of us may have a similar niche in that we want to serve women in health and fitness God's way, that doesn't mean that you can't still have a specific niche of women that you're going after, right? Like, for Cassie, she's a registered dietitian. She should be using that in her business. That should be something that is a huge focus for her, right? Because that's something specific to who she is. Yes, she's serving them and giving them devotions and pouring into them in that sense, but like, that's something that's an added value that she can bring to the table, right? Like, that's an area that she is strongly suited for. I really personally, I love working with new moms because I am a new mom, right? I'm in that super new season of being a mom and figuring out what it looks like to work a full-time job, run my side hustle, be a mom, serve people. And so I love working with women who work like I do. I love working with stay-at-home moms too, but I'm just saying, like, women who work, I get that, and I can help them. And I feel like that they see added value in working with me because there's not a lot of women doing this business who also work full-time. And so how can I bring them value? How can you bring your audience value? And so the next thing that I might create might be a scheduling tool that's like, hey, here are some tips on how to schedule your workout and make it happen every day. That's specific for that busy mom who is working full time or whatever, and trying to be fit and healthy. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so tool number 5 is a social media scheduler. So let me say this really quick. I use a social media scheduler. I just recently started using it. It is called Later, and it's awesome. It's a free app, but I use this in my business. And basically what you can do is you can go in and you can schedule your posts. And so it's really, really great. And I'm just going to give you guys a view of what it looks like. But here's the deal. Scheduling posts is not like some people think, oh, well, like people will see it's scheduled. Well, first of all, you can't see on Instagram that it's scheduled. But let's see, I'm going to show you guys. So basically what it'll do is it'll take your post that you scheduled and it'll send you an alert on your phone through the app. And then it'll take you to Instagram and you just press post. And so it copies and pastes it, the caption into your account. And then your Instagram post is posted. There is one called Schedugram that posts for you. So my babysitter, she has her own business and she uses that. So Instagram, there is Later, which is what I use. This is a photo of what Later looks like. You upload all your images and then you just schedule them out for the week. I went in yesterday and scheduled all of my posts for the balance of the week. And y'all, it's such a relief. Such a relief. So if you can go in and do this on Fridays for the following week, like it will be a game changer for you. Like we don't realize how much time we're spending in the morning trying to get a devotional up on our Instagram or whatever. And also this is going to allow you to sit down and really think about your content better. So if you sit down on Fridays and just brainstorm content, like what are things that I would have liked to have heard when I first started my fitness journey? Or what is God teaching me? And just write all of it out and then take those nuggets and make your Instagram post for the week. And so you can use for Facebook and Twitter, there's CoSchedule, there's Buffer, there's Hootsuite. I've used all of those at some point in my business. Now you can also natively schedule your Facebook posts, which I personally prefer. Obviously, we have the Challenge Tracker app. You can also schedule your posts in there. If you don't know how to do any of these things, again, YouTube it. Instagram, there is Later, and then Hootsuite. I'm not a huge fan of the Hootsuite one, but I wanted to throw that in there because it is free. Later is $9 a month for like the upgraded one. And then Schedugram actually posts for you, so you don't even have to think about it. It just posts it. I kind of like having a little bit of, control over it posting just in case like I change my mind and that's not relevant or something happened. It just helps me to see it before it goes up. But Schedugram, I believe, is $20 a month, but it does post for you, and it makes life really easy. All right, so I don't know why the tool number 6 didn't show up here, but the tool number 6 is a calendar tool. So this helps you so you don't have to go back and forth with your clients. This allows them to go into your calendar, see when you're available, and schedule time with you. And so the two that I put on here are Acuity or Calendly. And so these just are going to be an extension on, again, Gmail, but they're going to help people schedule time with you and see when you are available. And so I don't use this in my business right now specifically just because like my schedule with work is so all over the place and I might end up having free time that I didn't originally know about, or something might happen and then I can't. And so I'd rather prefer like talking back and forth to someone, but this is really great for anyone else. So I think that, when I plan to do this full time, this is definitely something I'm going to be using just because it really is a game changer for your clients. It's not, they can go in, they can schedule time, or your coaches, if they need time with you, they can get some time on your calendar. And so it just makes it very, very easy. All right, so that is it. So hopefully these were 6 systems and tools that you can use in your business that can really be a game changer. Let's take questions real quick. Any questions? I will go in and upload this this PowerPoint into our Facebook group, so that way you guys can go back and look at these different tools. I really recommend you guys not just taking this information, but putting this information in place in your business. And it'll take time. Don't try to do all of it one time. Like I just did later, like 2 weeks ago. So don't feel like, and I learned about these tools a couple months ago. So this actually was, some of these tools were things that this tech expert went over when we were at the Nero conference. And so this is information that I learned there. So Bree's already heard a lot of these, but hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Any questions at all? You guys are muted, so if you have a question. Oh, hey, Mindy.
Hey, so I've got one. Now, Caroline, you shared with me, I know there's scripts like all over the internet. Like you can Google scripts, but I need something that's like an intermediate between, can you answer these questions for me? What are your goals? And then, blah, here's all the information like on a challenge group or cleaning. I need like an intermediate. I'm having a hard time doing it. Because like I've said before, I've had trouble with just spilling everything at once and probably scaring people away. So do you guys have like an intermediate kind of script? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I totally get it. So actually, I have done a couple different things in my business. So for a while, what I did was, and this might be a good idea for you. Again, this is where I think it is important for people to have some sort of like Weebly or something that you can send people to. If you have a blog post about your challenge group, at the bottom of it, like on Weebly, I don't know how all of them work, but you can put a little questionnaire and just say, you know, your name, your email, what are your goals? It can be like 3 questions. Like it doesn't need to be anything super complicated. I've tried different things more as a test. So right now I'm just doing name and email because I wanted to see if more people would sign up, or if going through a whole lot of questions kind of makes them be like, I don't have the time to do this, or I don't know now. I just wanted to test it out. So I've kind of gone back and forth. If I do the questionnaire, if I have the questions on there, then when I email them, I just send them all the information. So
just everything.
Yeah, I just send them everything, and I will post for you guys the current script that I'm using for that I used for the Thrive Bootcamp. But basically, it just breaks everything down. What is Shakeology? Tools we're going to use. I try to go in and condense it this time, just because it was getting a little out of hand. It was a little lengthy. But usually, what I'll do is in there just kind of change the wording a little bit and say, you know, I'm really excited. Like I think that your goals are totally attainable. The thing about it is I found myself is like, it's so good to know their goals up if, you know, beforehand, but if they're not going to invest in the programs, like I would rather dive into their goals and the things that they want to see change in, once they've signed up and they've committed. Right. So for me, it's like, let me just ask them a few questions, like their name, their email, why do they want to be a part of this group? Just to make sure that this is something that's going to truly help them. And then, you know, in that email, I'll email them the information. If they sign up and they decide to say yes, then we'll set up a getting started right call. So I try to do like a 30-minute call with every challenger before the challenge group starts. Sometimes it's the first week it starts, but that's when I'll say, hey, will you answer some of these questions for me before the call, so that when we talk, I kind of know what their goals are, know what they've tried, what hasn't worked, what has worked, and we can specifically talk about them over the phone or like on Skype or FaceTime or whatever. I've been Zoom with people just because I really like to see them face to face. It makes them feel like it's a little more legit, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then we can just kind of talk about their goals on that, because they've invested and now want to pour time into them, you know?
Yes. Okay.
So I hope that's helpful. I'll upload, when I put this into our Facebook page, I'll upload that script that I've been using.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Bree, you're on mute. Hang on, let me unmute you.
There.
Okay, there we go.
So I think where I get frustrated with emails is, I don't know how to like word it, but when I'm trying to send out like an invitation for a group to people who like I already have their emails, like to my contact list, how do you guys like specifically, do you just send it to like everyone you know, or do you choose like specific people? Because I feel like I'm spending a lot of time like specifically like picking people, because I know some people have already like told me no, or I don't know, it's not the right time for them, and I just don't want to like keep annoying them. Just be like, send to everyone in my contact list.
Yeah, so that's why you need MailChimp or something where they can opt out. So MailChimp is great. You need to move all your contact over to MailChimp. And then when you're sending an email, it'll say at the bottom they can unsubscribe if they don't want to receive emails from you any longer. And you can't get your feelings hurt if they do. And you can see if they unsubscribe actually, but you just can't get your feelings hurt if they do, because it may just be that like they're not interested, and that's okay. But what I do is I just send like a blanket email. It's more of a blog post. So I'll just say, sorry, I'll send an email, and I don't send emails for every single challenge group that I do. Just if it's a specific one where I'm like, maybe I'm struggling to get people in there, or maybe it's like, hey, I really think that women could benefit from this. Then I'll send an email and just say, like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I just announced, this new boot camp coming out. If you're already a customer of mine, then, let me know if you'd like to jump in, or if you're not, like, here's a link that you can find out more information about the Thrive Bootcamp, and just kind of it's short and sweet. But then it's like, hey, here's an option if you're already working with me. And then if you're not, here's how you can get involved. So kind of more of like what an email you'd see come from, a brand that you like or whatever. So that's why MailChimp's really great, because then they can unsubscribe, and it just kind of takes the personal like feelings out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's helpful.
So that's what I would do is create a MailChimp or something like that. And I can help you do that. So just let me know.
Yay.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Was this helpful?
Definitely.
Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, we got to work smarter, not harder. That's my motto in life. All right, guys. So let's really quickly, I'm just curious, let's just chat real quick. Does anybody have anything from, the freemiums or anything that they also had questions on, or how is that going? Any status updates on your freemium and getting that rolled out?
So I typed mine up. You suggested doing like healthy nurse tips. So that's what I did. I just need to like make it pretty because it's just a Word document. But I have it typed up, and then I created like the MailChimp form or whatever for it. I just need to like plug it in.
Cool. Perfect. You can use Canva to make it pretty. I know I say that all the time, but it's so easy.
I'm going to have to work around Canva because I was having an issue with it, but I will.
Yeah, you have to make sure your browser's updated, so sometimes it won't work if you don't have it updated. But
got it.
once you get to know it, it's really easy to use. You just kind of have to play around with it for a while.
Sure.
Yay, that's cool. I'm excited about that. That's your big idea.
Woohoo!
Anybody else? All right. Well, if no one has anything or any questions, then we'll go ahead and hop off. Let me know if you guys need anything. Remember that I'm here for you guys, so let me know.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.